life has been feeling like there is a lot going on at once, and there is a very cosmic reason for that. So this is one of my first Astro Weather Reports in so long, and I'm low-key a little bit nervy, but I'm happy that at the very least it's for this full moon, because not only is it in my first house, and this is very aligned with what the stars are sort of telling me to follow, but it is beyond that a full moon in Sagittarius that is aspecting Mars in Leo, as well as Chiron in Aries, as well as Venus squaring Pluto. So there's just a lot going on. If you haven't already for I'd say a week or so been feeling that a lotness in your own personal life, you can at the very least sort of recognize it in our social, communal, political climate. But what I wanted to do, and I'm referring to my notes when I look down because once again, I'm a little rusty, I'm a little nervous, but what I want to do is sort of give an overview of what this energy is and then go rising sign through rising sign in terms of how this full moon, which is on the 11th, can sort of illuminate certain avenues and themes in your own personal life. Now, because the moon is on the 11th, the full moon, we're probably going to be feeling this energy from, we've probably already been feeling it, but specifically now the 9th through the 13th. And some notes that I wanted to take on the energy of this sort of cosmic kismet moment is a release of stagnation, right? Obviously, Sagittarius is a sign that's ruled by the planet of Jupiter, which is the planet of expansion and illumination, and it's really big and it's grand. And so these moments, these arguments, these challenges, these insights, these opportunities that are happening are not small. It's really these sort of bigger moments that are going to lead to bigger lasting change, or at the very least insight that's going to lead you to lasting change in your life. I don't doubt for a second that there's probably tension or friction in your life or in the challenges that are coming up right now, but I want to make it so clear that all of it is very much aligned with your expansion. These are not just annoyances for the sake of annoyances. These are all sort of driving you towards that bigger evolution of self. So really take every argument that's coming up, every problem, every challenge as an opportunity to ask yourself how you're being asked to practice bravery or patience or grace or boldness. Really just allow this cosmic opportunity as a time to mold you into a bigger version of self. Defend what you know is right. Sagittarius is all about, it's a humanitarian sign, and alongside Aquarius, it has everything to do with doing the right thing. And in a time in which being optimistic feels borderline bleak, it is important that we still live in alignment with what we know to be the highest good. So defend what you know is right. I think we're seeing all of these, I don't know what I'm allowed to say online without getting flagged, but there's some things going on in LA politically that I think are very important, because they are an exercising of people using their voice and defending what they know to be what is right. And that can be on a grand scale, as I'm obviously speaking to, or it can be on a more molecular scale in your own personal life. Defend what you know is right, and the sort of clause there is, even if you have to fight yourself in that, sometimes we can be our own enemy and we can stand in the way of us evolving into the largest version of self. So if you know that you need to get out of your own way in order to live the fullest version of self, now would be the time to make those adjustments. Lastly, friction is what causes fire, which is what causes change. It's very important to differentiate between when you are working against the stream and against your own natural resistance towards maybe something that isn't for you, whether you're forcing something or whether you are just not seeing the full picture, versus when there is friction or tension that is asking for you to rise to the occasion and to be bigger and braver and bolder and more demanding of what you know you deserve. And so with that, I'd love to go really quickly through each rising sign. Listen to your rising sign, but also listen to your sun sign. This is what I believe the full moon is going to what it will sort of illuminate for you in your own personal life. Good God, oh my God. Obviously, we're going to start with Sag risings, like myself. This is obviously going to be illuminating your first house, which is the house of self. It's the way that the world experiences you. It's the way that you show up. And so with that, being that Sagittarius and Jupiter both really are rooted in a sense of authenticity and living a life that is honest, it's important to ask yourself whether you are making choices from the gut rather than the brain. Are you living a life that is an honest expression of self on a grand scale, on a molecular scale? You want to make sure that you're making choices aligned with authenticity, because those are the ones that will propel you forward. I am fighting for my life to speak coherently. The next sign is Capricorn. This is going to be moving through your second house, which is the house of finances, the house of stability, physical material matters. So you want to make sure that you are allowing yourself to think beyond what you know to be the status quo when it comes to how you make money, right? Open yourself up to different avenues of money, of stability, of grounding, just of security in whatever you define security as. But if you have a major Capricorn placement, that probably is money. You may be surprised at where your next check comes from. That's all I'm saying. Just leave room for some miracle to happen. My Aquarius risings, this moon is going to be moving through your third house, which is the Mercury house. It rules your voice. It's how you express yourself. It's how you are heard. It's how you are seen in that regard. So find new ways to use your voice. Maybe you want to take up a new hobby or explore new ways to just be expressive, right? Be very explorative in this window of time, but also just be honest and sincere about how you may not be using your voice and how you want to use your voice for the greater expansion of the greater good. Especially when you have an Aquarius placement, you know that you are meant for something so much bigger than yourself, whether that's you defending a cause that you believe in or you defending someone walking down the street who you think needs to be spoken up for. Does that make sense? Oh my God. For my Pisces risings, this is going to be in your fourth house. All of my mutable signs are going to get hit kind of in the bigger avenues of life because of the way that the circle is set up. But yes, for your fourth house, you want to make sure that you're sitting with the idea of what home is and maybe being expansive when it comes to that regard, whether you are considering moving or maybe exploring a new place and wanting to consider that place to be your home. And also just within your own physical home, how can you make it a more expansive environment and ecosystem for yourself, whether that means you get a mirror to put in the corner because sometimes that makes spaces look bigger, but also maybe there's a roommate situation where you need to kind of speak up and defend yourself in terms of feeling safe and free. Fourth house also rules mother, so maybe there's some sort of maternal conversations that need to happen with yourself, with the mother figure in your life, to show that those themes are kind of getting highlighted. For Aries risings, this is all about play. This is in your fifth house, which is drama and expression. But I think what I really want you to especially sit with is the fact that where you play is where you will find fortune. So if you've been navigating everything very stoically or very by the book, structured, how can you invite play into the problems that you are working through in your life and find expansion through that? My Taurus risings, this is in your sixth house of health. So you want to make sure that you are sort of recalibrating your relationship with health and fitness and making sure that there's still play and expansion in it. If you are so regimented to the point where you are overworking or you're confined, it's not going to be sustainable. So try out a new recipe, a new fitness class. Just don't be so confined to structure. Out of time because I yap so much. So for my Gemini rising, this is in your seventh house, which is of relationships, mainly romantic relationships, but also your friendships and the relationships that make up your day-to-day life. Are you being honest in them? Are you being authentic in them? Are they safe enough relationships for you to be honest and authentic? And if not, which ones do you need to get rid of? Which ones need some communication so that you can work through not feeling safe enough to be the fullest expression of self? Really being honest there. For my Cancer risings, Jupiter is also moving through your sign. I'm going to make another video about that, but this is a season of healing, right? So in order to heal, you need to be aware of where that healing needs to take place. So be very aware of where there is some sort of void in your heart, in your spirit, in your psyche, and how can you sit with that? How can you tend to that? And how can you give yourself the time and the space to feel completely? For my Leo placements, this is in your ninth house, and this has everything to do with religion and philosophy and what is bigger than you. And so I really invite you to recenter yourself on what you believe in beyond the material, beyond the physical world. When you reconnect with something spiritual, something larger than yourself, you are sort of reinvigorated with a sense of purpose. So whether that's what we know God to be on a social level or what you define God to be on a personal level, make sure that you reconnect with that. Last few here, Virgo, this is going to be in your 10th house of career. This is an amazing time for opportunities when it comes to your work, and whether that's a new job opportunity or speaking up for yourself in the current career that you are working, whether that means you are asking for a raise or demanding what you know to be deserving of for you. Make sure that you speak up for yourself and you advocate for yourself, because closed mouths do not get fed. These last two quickly. So for Libra risings, you want to make sure that you do something social and communal. Get together with a big group of people, whether they're friends or strangers. You're going to find a lot of healing there. And for Scorpios, what does your inner world look like, and how can you make your mental health a safer place for you to coexist in with your own self?